Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Lieutenant Craig Bell, and I'd like to welcome you to the Saginaw Police Department's annual awards and memorial ceremony. Thank you all for joining us as we pay tribute to our officers, both past and present. At this time, we'll ask one of our police chaplains, Rob Troutman, to offer the invocation. Rob, could you please come forward?
Well, good morning. If you would bow in prayer with me, please. My gracious Father, we come before you today on this very beautiful day. Lord, we would be remiss not to give you thanks and praise for the blue sky and the break in the weather and just the warmth that we feel. And Lord, as I look out over these men, these women, Lord, these officers, these citizens, these family members, I am very humbled, Lord, to see your hand over this city to the protection of these men and women, these officers. These men and women who have been called ultimately by you to do what you would require, Lord, that the laws of the land, ultimately that your authority invested in them, Lord, would be carried out, that there would be peace, there would be justice, and people would be able to dwell in safety. And so as we would have this ceremony, I do think of that, and I do ask in this moment, Lord, as we are gathered, and I would ask that many would pray with me over the city, Lord, that you would continue to work through your people here, that you would continue to bring peace, Lord, that you would continue to change lives, that people would turn from ways that would be harmful, Lord, that would be violent, to a way of living that is peaceful, Lord, that is loving, that is kind. And so as these officers here, Lord, I pray for them as they have done their duty and have done it well. I pray that you give them a blessing for their faithful service to you and these who they protect and they serve. As will be prayed again later, that you would continue to give them all that they need, the equipping by the Spirit in their mind, Lord, in their body, to be able to go out each day and do that which you have called them to. Give them protection, I pray. And Lord, I would like to also give you thanks and praise for the citizens who have taken part in standing up for what is right and good in this city. And I pray, Lord, the examples that are going to be exemplified here today, that would be duplicated throughout the city, that more and more people would take a helpful approach to bringing peace and law in order to the city. And so for the city officials who are behind me, Lord, for the citizens and the officers out in front, I give you thanks and praise and ask that you would get all the honor and glory through this service. It is in the name of Lord Jesus I pray these things. Amen.
At this time, Indigo Dudley, a senior at Heritage High School, will sing the national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Thank you very much, Indigo. That was an outstanding performance. At this time, Chief Bob Ruth would like to say a few words.
First of all, I'd like to thank everyone for coming today. I greatly appreciate it. Joining me on the stage today is our moderator, Lieutenant Craig Bell. He was just promoted in January of this year to lieutenant. He's been doing an outstanding job since. Also on stage with me is our city manager, Tim Morales, sitting in the middle, and our mayor, Dennis Browning, sitting on closest to me. And also on the stage today, we have a representative from State Representative Vanessa Guevara's office, Eric Inoza. I'd also like to take this opportunity for special thanks to Gartner Flower Shop for donating some of the flowers, the Honorable Judge Barb Meter, who donated the wreath that you'll see today, and Matthew Shutnick, the director of SGTV. He's the guy up there taking pictures of us, keeping us all in line. The staff of the Temple Theater. We greatly appreciate this, the room. The room is donated to us every year for this event. Indigo Dudley, a beautiful singer that we just saw. Tim Hortons, we can't forget about him. Remember, when the event's over, we have donuts and cookies in the back of the room. And Deputy Garrett DeWise and Officer Matt Oswald of the Saginaw Township Police Department. We appreciate all of those individuals who have donated to this special day for us. The Awards Committee, Lieutenant Dave Konjorski, who couldn't be here today. He's at the FBI Academy, trying to educate himself. Detective Sergeant Reggie Williams, he's here somewhere, I think, right in the back. Officer Nick Jacobs, I know he's here. Detective Matt Giroux, our Officer of the Year from last year. Michelle O'Day, who couldn't be here. And very special thanks to Sienna Rendon. Sienna's sitting right over here. Sienna does all this work putting this together, and she does an outstanding job. Takes a lot of work orchestrating this whole operation, getting everything going smoothly, and she just does a tremendous job every year of that. If we could give her a round of applause. This day is all about celebrating the present officers at the department that have done things good throughout the year. And I can't say how proud I am of the officers that we have at the Saginaw Police Department. They have done some tremendous acts, which you're going to hear about. The citizens of Saginaw have done tremendous acts that you're going to hear about. And the Michigan State Police, the same. I'm proud of everybody that's here today and everybody that helps Saginaw stay safe. That's the whole key goal. And it all comes down to teamwork. And the only way that we can make Saginaw a safer place is by all of us working together as a team. And it starts with the Saginaw Police Department, the Michigan State Police, Buena Vista Police Department, Thomas Township, Saginaw Sheriff's Department, the Michigan Department of Corrections, Michigan State Police, Bridgeport Township Police. Everybody in this area through the year has helped fight crime in the city of Saginaw in their own ways. Another very important factor to this is the neighborhood associations. Without them, we wouldn't get the tips and the leads that we get on crimes that occur in the city of Saginaw. That's a driving force behind fighting the blight and keeping the neighborhoods safe, are the neighborhood associations. And everybody working together as a team allows the officers at the Saginaw Police Department, working in conjunction with the Michigan State Police, to take these cases to the prosecutor so that the cases can be prosecuted. And then they go to the judges, and the judges sentence the criminals to long sentences. That's how Saginaw stays safe. It's everybody in this room working together as a team. That's the only way it's going to continue in the future, and we have to keep this team effort going. I thank everyone very much for showing up today. We'll continue with our program now.
Thank you, Chief, and it's a great honor to be here today, not only as the mayor, but as a former officer with our police department. I could not be more proud to be here and to be able to present this proclamation. I'm here on behalf of the citizens of the city of Saginaw. I'm here on behalf of my fellow council members who are here, our city staff, and to present this proclamation for this Memorial Day. City of Saginaw proclamation, whereas the courageous men and women of the Saginaw City Police Department should be honored for the discipline and distinction they show in preserving the rights, freedom, and safety of all citizens of Saginaw. And whereas it is important that all citizens know and understand the duties, the hazards, responsibilities, and sacrifices of these brave officers as they serve our community. And whereas it is difficult to completely show our true appreciation for the service the men and women provide for the community, these brave officers often put their lives on the line to protect our citizens, sometimes making the ultimate sacrifice. And whereas the President of the United States and Congress has designated May 11th through 15, 2015 as National Police Week to salute the men and women who do the difficult, dangerous, and often thankless work of safeguarding our communities. During this time, we celebrate those who protect and serve us every minute of every day. And whereas on Thursday, May 7th, 2015, the City of Saginaw will recognize the members of our police force and pay tribute to those officers who have laid down their lives in the performance of their duty. On this day, we will honor law enforcement officers, both past and present, who by their faithful and loyal devotion to their responsibilities have rendered a dedicated service to the residents of the City of Saginaw. Now therefore be it resolved that I, Dennis D. Browning, on behalf of my fellow council members, do hereby proclaim May 7th, 2015 as Police Memorial Day in the City of Saginaw, and urge all citizens to observe this day in honor of those law enforcement officers who, through their courageous deeds, have made the ultimate sacrifice to their community or have become disabled in the performance of duty. I further encourage schools, businesses, religious institutions, service organizations, and the community as a whole to recognize and pay respect to the survivors of our fallen heroes. In witness whereof I have hereunto set my hand and caused the seal of the City of Saginaw to be affixed this 4th day of May in the year of our Lord, 2015. Signed, Dennis D. Browning, Mayor. Council members Amos O'Neill, Mayor Pro Tem, Michael D. Balls, Annie Bench, Larry Caloris, Daniel Fitzpatrick, Floyd Clark, Brenda F. Moore, and Damon L. Tibbs, and Timothy Morales, our city manager. Thank you.
At this time, I'd ask that the representatives from the following associations please come forward. Adams Boulevard Association, Buttman Fish Association, Cathedral District Association, Covenant Association, Downtown Saginaw Neighbors Association, Heritage Square Association, Houghton Jones Association, Northeast Association, Northmore Association, Northwest Association, Redeemer Area Association, Saginaw High Association, St. Stephen's Carmen Park Association, Southeast Association, and last but not least, the Southwest Saginaw Association, my old stomping ground. This award is a community relations citation awarded to all neighborhood associations. The Saginaw Police Department would like to take this opportunity to give recognition to our neighborhood watch groups who have over the years worked so diligently in our communities. Day in and day out, the members of these watch groups are devoted to making our city cleaner, safer, and more aware. These groups play an active role in such events as Light Up the City, Angels Night, and Halloween. They organize their own meetings and discuss current issues and bring awareness on various topics taking place in their neighborhoods and around the city. These groups consist of educators, business owners, students, etc., and despite their busy schedules, continue to actively work toward a better quality of life here in Saginaw. While our patrol officers have the very daunting task of ridding the streets of criminals, they would not be able to carry out these duties without our citizens' community involvement. For these reasons, the Saginaw Police Department would like to present the following groups with the Community Relations Citation Award. Again, it's Adams Boulevard, Buttman Fish, Cathedral, Covenant, Downtown Saginaw, Heritage Square, Houghton Jones, Northeast, Northmore, Northwest, Redeemer, Saginaw High, St. Stephen's, and Southeast and Southwest Saginaw associations. Once again, thank you to our neighborhood watch groups. You are greatly appreciated.
Thank you very much. We appreciate it. If you could, maybe step up here and walk down the line and shake hands as we go. There we go. Are they? Yeah. Thank you very much. If you want to walk, appreciate it. That's fine. Yeah, you don't have to come up. Yeah, it'd be easier.
That would be easier for you too.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Great job. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Yep, that'd be a lot easier. Thank you. Larry, good job. Thank you for all the work you've done. Thank you very much for all the work.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for all the work you've done. There you go. Thanks for showing up. Appreciate it. Thanks for all the work you do, especially with Light Up the City this year. You've been doing a good job with that. Thank you very much.
God bless you.
Yeah, we appreciate all the work you do. Thank you. Thank you very much.
I'd like to give this group a big round of applause. I know with working with them over the last 19 years or so, they give a tremendous amount of their own time, and I just want to let them know that we at the police department truly appreciate it. The next award is the Community Relations Citation, and that's awarded to Nancy Johnson of the Saginaw County Mental Health Authority. Over the course of the last couple years, things have changed significantly in our community, and for law enforcement in particular, how certain criminal situations are handled are of utmost importance. We'd like to express our appreciation to Nancy Johnson of the Saginaw County Mental Health Authority for her proactive role in assisting our officers in becoming more aware of mental health issues in our community. Nancy so graciously offered her assistance in locating and providing to our officers training in mental health response strategies. She has distributed educational material regarding available resources of the community that may be utilized for those in need of proper mental health support services. She has provided an ongoing series of roll call trainings that focus on proven methods of response and has since expanded her services by offering full training courses to Saginaw Police Department personnel. These courses are extremely beneficial to our officers in that they enhance the ability to respond to individuals in crisis in the most effective manner. Nancy has forged strong relationships with our officers and has committed her professional and personal time selflessly. Her efforts and commitment to the City of Saginaw are greatly appreciated, and we'd like to present Nancy Johnson of the Saginaw County Mental Health Authority with the Community Relations Citation Award. Our next award is the Community Relations Citation awarded to Renee Johnston of the Saginaw Community Foundation. As a police department, we are faced with the enormous task of being able to provide services with adequate response time, resources, and enough officers to patrol our streets, and enough detectives to investigate open cases. It is no secret that we've seen a significant drop in sworn personnel, which ultimately affects our ability to reach out in ways that we should be, namely in our schools. It also affects special operations, for example, that are designed to remove illegal drugs and culprits from the streets. With that being said, we'd like to recognize Renee Johnston, CEO of the Saginaw Community Foundation, for her enthusiastic assistance in acting as fiduciary in the Saginaw Police Department's pursuit of the Department of Justice Project Safe Neighborhood, or PSN, grant. With Renee's assistance, we were awarded the PSN grant and have already begun to take advantage of funding. We have been able to assign 6 school resource officers to be actively engaged with middle and high school students, and special street operations are being planned and carried out. We are fortunate in our collaborations with Renee, for she is positive, motivated, and eager in her endeavors to redirect and recreate Saginaw. The Saginaw Community Foundation was founded by her in 1984 and is mission-driven to improve the quality of life in Saginaw County by linking donor interest with the community's most pressing needs. This foundation is a provider of academic scholarships, community support activities, and supports active community leadership opportunities in Saginaw County. For these reasons, we'd like to present Renee Johnston of the Saginaw Community Foundation with the Community Relations Citation Award. Thank you, Renee. Our next award is the Community Relations Citation awarded to Jody Wilk. The Canine program has been an integral part of the Saginaw Police Department for about 20 years. Officers Stacer and Wenzel, along with Canjo and Kilo, are very active in the community and do their very best to engage and educate the public about the Canine program. Like most things, the program requires time and resources, and some people have gone above and beyond to ensure the success of the department. The Saginaw Police Department would like to acknowledge Jody Wilk of Omer, Michigan, who has for the past few years demonstrated her passion for police canines and their provided benefits to the community. Jody has researched and successfully acquired grants that have been used to obtain equipment for the dogs and handlers. She has even paid for training so that the unit may be more efficient and productive. She has attended dozens of events showing her support, collaborating with other local and national agencies to promote and, more importantly, gain knowledge and seek out additional funding sources. Jody has donated a tremendous amount of her time and positive energy to our canine unit and to the community, and her efforts have saved the city of Saginaw over $26,000 since May of 2013. The Saginaw Police Department is tremendously thankful for her generosity and contributions, and for that we would like to present Jody Wilk with the Community Relations Citation Award. We'll now ask that Temple Theater Chief Operating Officer Mike, forgive me for this, Basigalupo, and Stacy Gannon, Executive Director of the Temple Theater Foundation, come forward for a special presentation. Also, if there's any Saginaw PD reserves, if you could come forward at this time.
Well, good morning. Thank you for being here. Welcome to the Temple. We're very pleased to be able to host this event and share this celebration with you this morning. There was a gentleman by the name of William Ward who once said that feeling gratitude and not expressing it is like wrapping up a gift and not giving it. And so it pleases me that collectively today we're unwrapping a massive gift to give our heartfelt appreciation, honor, and gratitude to the fine men and women who serve our community. So thank you so much for that. Mike and I have, Mike B, it's easy just to say Mike B. Mike and I are very pleased on behalf of the Temple Theater Board of Directors, our staff, our member groups here that use the facility, and also, most importantly, our patrons, to be able to give our heartfelt appreciation to the Reserve Unit, who serves us so well throughout the year, as well as the entire City of Saginaw Police Department. We take too often the work of all of the fine men and women in uniform for granted, and so today is about celebrating them. So we thank you. And I'm going to call now upon my, I was going to say partner in crime, but in this room, probably not a good thing to say. But I'll call upon Mike, who has a special presentation to give a letter of appreciation on our behalf to the Reserve Unit for the fine work that they do for us throughout the year. So, Michael B.
It's Bacigalupo. I drive a red Mini Cooper, so you guys all, get that. If you see it, just pass me by. Anyways, the Temple Theater Foundation wants to take this opportunity to acknowledge the outstanding participation of the Saginaw City Police Reserves. The officers have afforded the patrons of the Temple Theater and its associated organizations the highest degree of professionalism. Their contribution has provided safety and security in downtown Saginaw. Their presence has contributed to changing the negative perception of the downtown area to one of the to be of a positive place to enjoy quality entertainment with family and friends. For their efforts, they are to be commended. The Temple Theater Foundation, Saginaw Bay Symphony Orchestra, Saginaw Choral Society, Saginaw Valley Concert Association offer the Saginaw Police Reserves our sincere appreciation for your contributions to the Saginaw community. This letter of appreciation is signed by Stacy and I and the Temple Theater Foundation. Thank you very much.
The next award is the Civilian Employee of the Year, awarded to Kathy Starling. We would like to take this time to recognize Kathy Starling, the Saginaw Police Department Support Services Administrator. Kathy has been with the City of Saginaw since 2003 and at the Police Department since 2010. Civilian staff and support has decreased significantly, much like our own sworn personnel. Much has changed here at the department in the last 5 years and continues to change, which means that duties are modified and responsibilities have increased. A telltale sign of a truly valuable employee is that they are resilient to the times while maintaining positivity and productivity. Kathy oversees 14 civilian employees and up to 4 college interns at a time. Her responsibilities vary greatly, and she is never at loss for an eventful day. She manages the property room, FOIA, and lien. She collaborates with SVSU and Ferris State to bring interns to the department, which she then trains. She manages statistical data that is used for several grants, crime analysis, state and federal reporting, and records retention. She is responsible for maintaining and updating all technological equipment and software, including in-car cameras and computers, body cams, and various city surveillance points. She has been instrumental in working with the Downtown Development Association to install cameras in the downtown and Hamilton Street areas. She is actively involved in the newly acquired PSN grant, as well, in which the ultimate goal is to regenerate the SPD and Saginaw Public Schools. We would like to express our gratitude for Kathy because we recognize her ability to administer her personal responsibilities while supervising the performance of others. She is a credit to the Saginaw Police Department, and we are very thankful for her contributions. For these reasons, we would like to present Support Services Administrator Kathy Starling as our 2015 Civilian Employee of the Year. The next award is the Special Assignment Decoration awarded to the Saginaw Police Department detectives and Michigan State Police troopers from the Major Crimes Unit. Would the following individuals please come forward? Detectives Matt Giroux and Ryan Oberly. Michigan State Police Detective First Lieutenant Andy Longuski. Andy's apparently not here today, so Detective Sergeant Jim Bush, Detective Sergeant David Rivard, Detective Trooper Hillary House, Detective Trooper Jim Moore, Detective Trooper Jessica Welton, Analyst Adam Talarek, Michigan Department of Corrections Agents Walt Weissapal and John Brown. In the past couple of years, Michigan State Police troopers, Michigan Department of Corrections agents, and Saginaw Police Department detectives have joined together and responded to numerous major crimes. Several homicides, violent crimes such as shootings, stabbings, and rapes have been solved due to the combined efforts of the newly formed MCU, or Major Crimes Unit. Investigators have responded to dozens of calls, flooding the scene with detectives and creating a high solvability rate. As a result of solving these recent cases, community ties begin to foster and citizens are coming forward with more information. This and the drop in violent crime have resulted in detectives being able to revisit cold case homicides and go on to solve several of those as well. A highlight to a couple of these cases was the solving of what's been dubbed as the prom shooting in May 2013. Detectives quickly solved this case and 3 people were convicted. A 2012 cold case was resolved in 2014, resulting in life sentences for 3 notorious East Side gang members. A suspected serial rapist was quickly apprehended after his DNA was identified a short time after the attack of several women in Saginaw's Old Town area. Another is a manhunt, capture, and conviction of Michael Lawrence, and the list goes on. There was a 50% drop in homicides since 2013 with a 67.5% solvability rate. The following individuals have been assigned to Major Crimes Unit and have successfully completed numerous investigations, spending countless hours away from family, bringing hundreds of charges and hundreds of years in prison terms for those responsible for the violent crimes in the city of Saginaw. We are honored to present the Special Assignment Decoration to the Saginaw Police Detectives Matt Giroux, Ryan Oberly, Michigan State Police Detective First Lieutenant Andy Longuski, Detective Sergeant Jim Bush, Detective Sergeant David Rivard, Detective Trooper Hillary House, Detective Trooper Jim Moore, Detective Trooper Jessica Welton, Analyst Adam Talarek, and Michigan Department of Corrections Agents Walt Weissapal and John Brown. Congratulations. The next award is for the Meritorious Service awarded to Officer Charles Coleman. Officer Coleman is actually out of state right now and couldn't make it today. He's actually somewhere where it's hotter than it is here. I would like to read the award and we'll present it to him later. On August 31st, 2014, Officer Charles Coleman responded to a residence at the request of MMR personnel to assist with a man suffering from paranoid schizophrenia and refusing treatment. In this case, marijuana use had exacerbated his mental health abnormalities and thrown his equilibrium into disarray. MMR had arrived on the scene first and he was adamantly refusing to go to the hospital. The man made threats to hurt himself and anybody, including his own family members who attempted to touch him or remove him from the locale. Officer Coleman promptly called for additional units. Officer Coleman, a trained negotiator, decided the most logical choice would be to try to persuade the man to go to the hospital. Along with the subject's father, Officer Coleman talked with the mentally ill man at length. During this time, Officer Coleman not only convinced the man to come outside and talk with his family, police, and MMR personnel, but he was also able to calm the subject down. He reassured the subject that he would personally transport the man's family to the hospital in his patrol car. Officer Coleman facilitated the subject's admission into the hospital without any threats or physical force. The entire incident was resolved through the power of negotiation, caring, and understanding. As such, Officer Coleman deserves recognition for the excellent job he did in negotiating with a potentially violent person suffering from mental illness. Not only was he able to gain the trust of the subject, but he was able to keep the man calm. Officer Coleman got the man the help that he required without the need of force. The family was extraordinarily thankful for Officer Coleman's professional and effective demeanor, words, and actions which resolved this conflict in the best possible way. Officer Coleman's expert hostage crisis negotiation training was put to excellent use during the course of this incident. Officer Coleman is a credit to himself, the community in which he serves, and to the Saginaw Police Department. His words and actions were a positive reflection of the Saginaw Police Department's continued commitment to provide service toward serving the city of Saginaw with professionalism and empathy. For these reasons, we present Officer Charles Coleman with the Meritorious Service Award. And hats off to Charles, and we'll present this award to him at a later date. The next award is the Exceptional Performance Award to Officer Patrick Bush. On November 26, 2014, Officer Bush responded to the vicinity of the 900 block of Athens Street, referenced shots fired. While en route to the scene, Officer Bush learned of a car accident in the same vicinity. Officer Bush and fellow officers were able to locate the scene of the shooting by discovering a spent bullet casing in the road in front of 923 Athens. Officer Bush also had prior knowledge concerning the occupants of 923 Athens, and this helped to quickly obtain a search warrant for the premises. While guarding the scene, Officer Bush observed an individual running north on Veterans Memorial Highway. The subject appeared to be attempting to hide from the police by running from positions of concealment. Officer Bush then radioed his intelligence to officers in the area. Due to his observations and timely actions, Michigan State Police personnel were able to locate the individual in the rail yard. The person in question was Victor Grady, the suspect in the homicide. Detectives were able to ascertain that Grady discarded the handgun used in the homicide in the rail yard immediately prior to his apprehension and confessed to the shooting of the victim, Linnell Dumas, within a couple of hours. Grady is now behind bars serving time for second-degree murder. The officers and detectives on this case worked together as a team and are to be commended. However, we are awarding Officer Pat Bush with the Exceptional Performance Citation Award for his fast response, eagerness, thorough investigative work, quick decision-making, and his sharp observation skills. An exceptional police officer demonstrates with action what he has learned through training and experience. He carries out his duties in such a way that those around him notice his hard work ethic. Officer Bush is a credit to the Saginaw Police Department and to the community he serves.
He was just promoted to detective.
Also, Officer Bush was recently transferred from the Patrol Division to the Investigations Division, where he is now a detective in the Detective Bureau. So congratulations to Pat on that. The next award is for the Courageous Service Award, and it'll be awarded to Officer Dan Hernandez, and Civilian Citation Award to Maria Hernandez. On May 3rd, 2014, 911 dispatch received several reports of a vehicle speeding and driving erratically on US 10 in Bay County west of 11 Mile Road. Eventually, the vehicle struck the median, rolled a few times, and ended up in the ditch. Officer Dan Hernandez, who was off duty, and his wife Maria were driving when they noticed the rollover accident. The vehicle was smoking and an engine fire was clearly visible. Officer Hernandez and Maria pulled over to render whatever aid they could. The couple acted decisively by pulling an infant out of the damaged vehicle. Officer Hernandez cut the seatbelt and pulled the mother, who was the driver, out of the van before the vehicle erupted in flames. Immediately afterwards, Maria Hernandez rendered first aid by holding C-spine on the mother and trying to keep her conscious for as long as possible, who was groaning and in obvious pain. Thankfully, the baby was conscious, alert, and unharmed. Bystanders assisted by keeping the baby warm. The timely intervention of Officer Hernandez and Maria indeed changed the course of that day's events. It's entirely possible that the vehicle fire could have claimed the lives of a mother and her child. Their successful efforts are nothing short of heroic, and the Saginaw Police Department is honored to award Officer Dan Hernandez the Courageous Service Award and his wife Maria the Civilian Citation Award. Congratulations. The next award is the Life Saving Award for Detective Patrick Bush. On January 8th, 2015, at approximately 9:10 a.m., a fire engine unintentionally rolled through a red light at the corner of Genesee and North Michigan Avenue due to the collapse of a firefighter while driving. Detective Bush quickly responded to the scene. Upon his arrival, he found that the victim's fellow firefighters were using an automated external defibrillator on the driver in the desperate attempt to revive him. At that time, Central Dispatch informed Detective Bush that MMR was still at least 1 minute away from the scene. With precious time passing, Detective Bush made the quick decision to transport the victim to Covenant ER himself rather than to wait for MMR. Arriving in about 30 seconds, Covenant medical personnel were awaiting his arrival, and the victim was quickly treated and stabilized. Detective Bush's decisive actions and excellent judgment call were critical in this high-stress situation that ultimately saved a human life. As such, Detective Bush's actions are nothing short of heroic and are recognized as a credit to the Saginaw Police Department and the community he serves. We are honored to present Detective Pat Bush with the Life Saving Award. Congratulations. The next award is the Life Saving Award for Detective Sergeant Oscar Lopez and Civilian Citation awarded to Yvonne Weathers. On January 9th, 2015, at approximately 4:30 p.m., Sergeant Oscar Lopez was flagged down and stopped in front of 1014 East Genesee Avenue. A man had collapsed in the street amid traffic, and upon being checked by Sergeant Lopez, he was found to be unconscious with no pulse and no signs of breathing. After calling for emergency medical assistance, Sergeant Lopez began life-saving efforts by instituting CPR. As this was taking place, Yvonne Weathers was driving by. She quickly got out of her car and informed Sergeant Lopez that she was CPR certified and trained in first aid. While Sergeant Lopez performed the necessary chest compressions, Yvonne handled the rescue breathing on the victim until MMR arrived on scene, who then took over treatment. The victim was successfully resuscitated and transported to St. Mary's Hospital. Doctors reported that Mr. Schreibner would remarkably make a full recovery. The actions of Yvonne and now Detective Sergeant Oscar Lopez on that day played a crucial role in saving a man's life. It is truly notable that such selflessness, compassion, and quick judgment have made the difference in this emergency situation. For their heroic deeds, we are honored to present Ms. Yvonne Weathers with the Civilian Citation Award and Detective Sergeant Oscar Lopez with the Life Saving Award. Congratulations. And our last award today is for the Saginaw Police Department Officer of the Year, awarded to Officer Anthony Officer Tony Tenayuki was hired on January 8, 1996, joining a police force of 145 sworn officers for the city of Saginaw. Since then, Officer Tenayuki has demonstrated the meaning of what it means to be an exemplary police officer. Officer Tenayuki is a member of the Impact Committee, which is a morale-boosting committee for Saginaw Police Department sworn personnel. He is a member of the Emergency Services Team, the Critical Incident Debrief Team, and a mentor in the Explorer program. He is a field training officer to new police officer recruits and a school resource officer for middle and high school students, and he has served as the use of force instructor for the department. He enjoys spending time with his family and friends, hunting, auto mechanics, and physical fitness. The Officer of the Year is awarded to the officer who has consistently displayed the utmost tact, cooperation, initiative, sound judgment, report writing, appearance, law enforcement ability, civic mindedness, self-improvement, flexibility, and attitude toward the citizenry and their peers. Tony is a great example of this. He is consistently recognized by his peers in that he displays sound judgment and police tactics while handling high-stress situations and encouraging his fellow officers to always improve their tactical skills. He always goes the extra mile, covering calls outside his area and volunteering his services whenever he can. He is attentive to what is happening in our city and to neighboring jurisdictions as well. There have been several instances where Tony's training and experience were instrumental in resolving a conflict, and he is a go-to officer when tactical situations arise. His professionalism with citizens has allowed progress in circumstances where they may not have been otherwise. Officer Tenayuki is thorough and proactive in his approach to policing. He's a team player, takes pride in his appearance, and has an excellent attitude and is a sharp thinker and decision maker. For these reasons, we are honored to present Officer Anthony Tenayuki as the Saginaw Police Department's 2015 Officer of the Year.
Well, Sienna ordered me to give a speech, so I follow my chain of command. So here I go. I just want to say welcome, distinguished guests, and thank you to everyone for coming out to show your support for our department. I would just like to thank the awards committee for selecting me as this year's Officer of the Year. I am very appreciative of this award, and I believe this is perfect timing in the timeline of my career. I recently attained 19 years of service, and this award reaffirms that the hard work that I believe I do is appreciated by this agency. As police officers, we don't take the oath looking for a pat on the back, but believe me when I say we're all appreciative to receive recognition, and I believe this is the ultimate attaboy. I'd like to thank my family for their support, but most of all, I'd like to thank my fellow officers, for I truly believe many of you should be up here receiving this award. I couldn't do this job alone, and many of these awards on my chest were part of a team effort. Good news is, I'm only 42 years old, I'm in my prime, and you'll all have to put up with me for a few more years. So thank you very much.
I've had the opportunity to work with Tony on and off for about almost 19 years, and he is a great example of what I think police officers should be, and he is well deserving of this award. So again, congratulations to Tony. This concludes our ceremony. We'd like to give special thanks to Tim Hortons. Again, and there's some refreshments in the back if you want to take a little. Also, Gertner's Flower Shop and the Honorable Judge Barbara Meter for their donations. At this time, please join us outside in the plaza for the memorial service. And again, thank you for attending our ceremony today.